Coming up on Mountain News at 6, a local business makes a big donation to flood victims just before Christmas. And police recover drugs and guns after a large bust in Williamsburg.
Plus, we've seen plenty of showers this month already, and more could be on the way. The latest on the return of possible thunderstorms coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
As many people are still rebuilding and mucking out after the flood, one local hotel is stepping up by giving back everyday items to those impacted. WYMT's Dakota Makris reports from Hazard.
You know the saying, what is old is new again, and the Hampton Inn in Hazard is donating its old furniture to the ARH Flood Relief Distribution Center, giving the items new life for people rebuilding their own after July's flooding.
It's overwhelming, and I thank God every day that I'm able to do this, and we can provide and give back.
The hotel is undergoing renovations. Owner Michael Sims says this was one way they could help their fellow Eastern Kentuckians, donating headboards, lamps, tables, and more.
We know there's a lot of people out in the community that has a great need for, just the small few things that we have here, but just being able that we live here and being able to help these folks.
This is the second time the hotel has donated furniture to the distribution center. It was able to get quality furniture into 15 homes just last month.
People are starting to get back into their homes, so it's really nice being able to, they're in a brand new trailer, brand new house, their place got renovated completely, so it's really nice being able to get these things into their house, and that's one less thing that they have to worry about at this point.
Helping their fellow neighbor. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you are needing furniture from the center, you're asked to call your local community action agency. Employees at high-speed internet provider Kinetic raised $7,500 at their 16th annual Golf for a Cause employee tournament. Kinetic staff says this year they chose to raise money for the ARH Foundation in Lexington for its flood relief fund. Paige Stacy, a regional marketing and operation consultant with Kinetic, says this year's $7,500 is the most they have ever raised, and it means a lot being able to give back to where she is from.
When I, found out that we were going to donate to a flood relief foundation, it meant a lot to me from the company that I love and work for to give back to my hometown.
140 employees participated in this year's tournament, and Stacy says the ARH Fund hopes to use the money to continue helping Eastern Kentuckians rebuild their lives.
Well, clouds have already starting to work back into the region, but they're not quite through here just yet. Here, look outside from several spots. We saw some sunshine try to return today in London and Hazard. 44 in London right now. Hazard cooling off fast. They sit at 37. Pikeville's at 39, where they had more cloud cover throughout the day today. Temperatures region-wide, cooler in the Big Sandy, milder in the Cumberland Valley. Typical split there as we head into the evening hours. You see the clouds that worked through parts of the Big Sandy earlier today, and a few more trying to sneak through the region from the Bluegrass right now. We're in kind of a hole of the cloud cover for now, but more shower activity is on the way to the west. 30% for us, or 30 degrees for us tonight, a 0% chance of rain. Mostly clear and on the chilly side. Details in a few minutes on when we see a return to some soggy weather in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Eastern Kentucky is making a coordinated effort to keep their ambulances stocked full of qualified and trained EMTs in case of an emergency. The cost of training has deterred some folks from pursuing careers as EMTs, but now officials with Pikeville Medical Center have announced a $200,000 grant to offer up EMT training. Christine Shalikian, an athletic trainer at the University of Pikeville, is one of the many people who say the financial burden kept them sidelined, and now the grant is making the career possible.
That was one thing me and my coworker were both looking at it, and we were trying to figure out financially how we could afford it, if we could go through the school, see if they would help us a little bit, and we could pay the rest. When I spoke to Mitch over the phone and he said it was all paid for, I was kind of in shock. I was like, that makes my decision so much easier to actually go forward and take the class.
The training is 400 hours and taught a couple of nights a week by Pikeville firefighters. One person is in jail and thousands of dollars in cash is in evidence in a case that police say has put a dent in the local drug trafficking scene in Whitley County. It's a county where a lot of people have overdosed and where some families have been hit hard by multiple deadly overdoses. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the bust that took place over the weekend and how they hope it helps stop a devastating situation.
The lengthy investigation and a search warrant took police to a home on the Kentucky-Tennessee state line Saturday on Lot Mud Creek Road.
Yes, this is one of the larger seizures that the police department has done in quite some time.
Police say they found $14,000 in cash, 4 shotguns, a rifle, 2 handguns, and a lot of drug paraphernalia. They arrested 39-year-old Randy J. Jones, who is accused of dealing and selling meth and fentanyl to a confidential informant.
Based upon our investigation, I mean, there's indications that he could be connected to other investigations. So that's an ongoing investigation even after the execution of the search warrant.
People who live in that area say drug use as well as fentanyl has been a big problem. In fact, in speaking with the Whitley County coroner, he said that there was a death on Lot Mud Creek Road just in the last couple of days, and he says his suspicion is that it was a drug overdose. Police say they deal with fentanyl frequently. In fact, health leaders are even encouraging businesses to carry easy-to-use Narcan emergency kits.
We use Narcan often. All of our officers are equipped with Narcan in their vehicles, and it's just becoming a regular thing, and it's just not something that we're proud of, but we're ready if it happens.
And with this arrest and seizure, they hope it happens a little less often now. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The Whitley County Sheriff's Office and state police also assisted in the investigation and the arrest. One Bell County man was arrested twice last week after he escaped, setting off a wild sequence of events. On Thursday, deputies were called to help transport a prisoner that officers had caught after he got away. Before 34-year-old Terry Baker of Middlesboro took off, he reportedly yelled at the officers that he would, quote, get his gun and use it on them. Officers caught him a short time later. When a deputy put him in the cruiser, police say Baker started fighting them and banging his head against the window. We're told he had to be pepper sprayed to get him to calm down. Bell County Sheriff's deputies received a tip on where a stolen dirt bike might be last week. Deputies went to a home on Ray Hatfield Road and asked the homeowner, 60-year-old David Hall of Middlesboro, if he knew where the bike might be. After telling deputies he did not know, deputies found the bike behind a nearby rental property and tire tracks leading from Hall's house to the bike. Deputies also found a glass container they believed to contain meth.
Well, looking ahead to the forecast, it's looking pretty nice for at least some of us, but showers are on the way back. Details in a few minutes. Plus,
some Christmas trees mean a little more this year in Corbin. We'll tell you how one church has created a Christmas tree memorial garden.